All right, so let's get this done here, ladies and gentlemen. So identify the function family to which f of x equals 8 belongs to. Remember, that's going to be your f of x is equal to c, where your c is a constant. Remember on that first second 1.1, we went over 4 types of graphs. So this one here, since it's a number, we know it's a constant function. On the second one, it says graph x plus 2 and its parent function, then describe the transformation. So remember, the slope in front of that x is 1. And remember, that parent function will just be f of x is equal to x. So remember, that means when x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1. When x is equal to 2, y is equal to 2, and so on like that. So then we should have something that looks like that. And that's our f of x is equal to x. Remember, then our next one, and I'll make a different color, would be our y-intercept is at 2. And again, the slope still is 1. So I'm going to go up 1. Remember, if you're not sure, you can always make a table. So there's our g of x. And so what happened, remember, it's g of x is equal to x plus 2. So remember, inside x, outside y, I keep saying that. I'll be saying that for a bunch of chapters. So we know that it went, and we can just choose a point. If we chose the one at the origin, we would see that it went up. So that would make it a vertical translation. Two units, and I just said up. Okay. So the next one are, remember, the parent function for a constant function was f of x is equal to 1. So remember, that's going to be a constant function. That means it's going to be a horizontal line, and it's going to be f of x is equal to 1. The other one, g of x, they're saying is at negative 3. So if g of x is at negative 3, I'm going to go here. And again, what did we do here? Again, if I choose a point, we went down 4. So it's vertical translation. 4 units down of the parent function. Okay, number 4 here. Remember, I kind of told you as we were going through it to watch the scale. If you look at the scale here, in the x direction, it is going by ones. But if we look at the y direction, it's going up by 2s. So if we look at that, again, ladies and gentlemen, you could also put this in your calculator, okay? Use your decimals. It's off to the side. Remember, watch what happens when you put in x and when you put in y. But again, if I look here, okay, on this one right here, here's 1. And remember, so 1 would be right there. So there's your 0.11, all right? And then here is your 0.14. If I was to plug it into my calculator, remember I kind of told you to, you could go and see, and remember your parent function is x squared. And I told you xy, so it could go negative 2, 1, 0, 1, 2. So that would give you 4, 1, 0, 1, 4. All right. If we did the x squared, the 4x squared. So if we did that, I'm just gonna choose one point here for you. If I did 1, right? 1 times 1 is 1. So there's my squared times 4. So we would know we would have y is equal to 4. That's that one right there. Again, just try and see what happens. I'm not sure if it'll give you red and blue again, but I do know that my answer in this case will be this one here. And again, I told you, remember, when it's a vertical, it's narrower. So here is my g of x. And here's my, let me see, I need to change that because they called it f of x is equal to 4x squared. So this here would be my f of x. And then I just told you, let's call this one like g of x or something. And remember, I told you, when we're talking vertical, think of it as when I'm stretching it, it's like a rubber band and I'm pulling at the end, so it is going to make it narrower. All right? So we know that it is a vertical stretch. Of the graph. Again, I'll put over here, watch scale. Because again, on the other test, I'm not sure what they are doing. Okay? So number 5, it says using a graphing calculator to graph to absolute value of x plus 8 and its parent function. Remember, its parent function would be f of x is equal to the absolute value of x. All right? So if I did that, we would see, and we would see that we could have a vertical translation because the plus 8 is on the outside, so we know that that is going to make it go up or down. And the one that's in front of the x, it's not attached to the x on the inside, so we know that is going to be a vertical. And we know, again, since it is greater than 1, we know it's going to be a vertical stretch. Number 6, let f of x equal negative 2x minus 7, write a function g whose graph is a translation 6 units to the right of the graph of f. So remember, when it's to the right, left or right is inside x. So that means wherever I see x, I'm going to add the 6 units to the right. Now remember, when I'm saying to the right, it's x minus h, so x minus 6 minus 7. Now remember, I'm going to distribute that negative 2 through the parentheses. That'll give me negative 2x. Let me make that a little better. Plus 12 minus 7, which will give us negative 2x plus 5. So our answer here, you would plug in negative 2x plus 5. All right, let's see. F of x is equal to 2 x minus 3 quantities squared. Write a function g whose graph is a reflection in the x-axis. In the x-axis of f. So remember, if I'm going to write that down, I know that g of x is equal to negative f of x. When I'm talking about it on the x-axis, it's on the outside. So that means that wherever I'm just going to put a negative, and then I'm going to put my function that I already have to x minus 3 squared. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, that is your answer. We're not going to simplify it any farther. We might do that later on, but for right now, we're okay there. All right. So number 8, let f of x equal 5x plus 8. Write a function g whose graph is a horizontal. So now remember, I told you whenever I see the word horizontal, I'm going to take their factor here, and I know I'm going to automatically flip it. Since they have 1/5, I'm going to say it's 5 over 1, but 5 over 1 is just 5. Okay, and remember, I'm going to put that on the inside. I'm going to attach it to the x. So I have 5 there. I'm going to take this new 5 and I'm going to attach it to the x. And then I'm going to add 8 to that. So again, 5 times 5 is 25, x plus 8. And that will be my answer for that one. Number 9, it's asking us to do 2 things. So remember, your book, when we did 2 things, it liked to have us start with h of x, and then they went to g of x. So first thing they want us to do, and go in the order they have it, they want us to go 4 units down. So if I take my f of x, which is x, with the h of x, again, down, that's on the outside, so I'm going to write that as x minus 4. Okay, now for the g of x, so the second thing they want us to do here is they're going to follow it by a reflection in the y-axis. And remember, a reflection in the y-axis means that I'm going to attach it on the inside. So g of x will equal h of, I'm attaching the negative, since it's in the y-axis, to the inside. So that means wherever I see x, I'm going to change it now to negative x. And then I'm going to still have my minus 4 there. And that's my answer for that one. So number 10, remember, let's see, write an equation of the lines shown. So what I always suggest is you call one of them x1, y1, the other one x2, y2. And again, it doesn't matter which way. I think on the other, when I did it in class for you, I went the other way, but we'll see that I should still get 15. So I have y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So in this case, I have 20 minus 50. I have 0 minus 2. So that'll give me negative 30 over negative 2. Negative divided by negative is a positive. So 30 divided by 2 is equal to 15. And like I just said, I got the same thing. All right. On this one here, since it already crosses the y-axis, we know that's our y-intercept. So now we can write our equation as y is equal to 15x plus 20. All right. So that's for this one right here. Y is equal to 15x plus 20. Now they're saying when our next one, they want to know when y is equal to 185, what is x going to be? So remember, I kind of told you on that one there, we can write it as 15x plus 20 is equal to 185. I just moved the 15x plus 20 to the left-hand side. It makes it easier for me to solve. So I can then subtract 20 on both sides. I would hope that you would remember to do that in your head or use your calculator, I guess. 165. If I divide through by 15, I'll get that x is equal to 11. And that's my answer for that. All right, so now number 11 is the one where we have to use the linear regression on the calculator. So I left everything up here, so I should just be able to click on my decimals here right now, and that should come up, which it did. And we are going to now put in our number 11. So use the linear regression feature of a graphing calculator to find an equation of the line of best fit for the data. Round each value in your equation to the nearest tenth. So remember, I told you on this, go to the plus sign here. All right. So if I go there, I can see the table. So on the table, I'm going to put in 1. I'm going to put in 2, 5, 8, and 12. Go over to the Y now, and I'm going to put in 10, 15, 28, 40, and 59. So again, make sure, ladies and gentlemen, you're okay there. All right. And once we have that, somebody just showed me this. We can't see them, but if we click on this plus sign over here, it's called a zoom fit, and we can see our graph right there, which was nice. Thank you, whoever told me that. That was nice. So the second one here now, I'm going to, let's see. I can't get to my thing right there because I have all this other stuff in the way, which shouldn't be there. So if I was there, I could get to my keyboard. And remember, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put in Y. And remember, I have to put in 1. And then remember, down there, I told you to hit the ABC, and then you could see the tilde. So if you're just doing it on your computer, it's right underneath the escape. I'm sorry, it's a shift underneath the escape. And then we're going to say M, and then remember it's X. Again, I have to put in the ones. Don't forget the ones. And then I'm going to do a plus B. And that is my line of best fit. So once I see that, now look at the M there. So if you look at the M, okay, we had, and I think I can move this over just a little bit so we can see both of them. All right. So on my M there, I have M is equal to 4.39409. Now remember, the calculator is going, the big idea is going to be very particular. The rules of rounding, if I look at the 9 here, that means that 3 is going to become a 4. So to the nearest 10th, M is going to be equal to 4.4. Same thing with the B. So the B, we have 5.7931. The 9 is going to make that 7 and 8. So my line of best fit then will be Y is equal to 4.4x plus 5.8. And that's what you would put in your answer there. Okay. All right. So let's keep going. We're getting close. So number 12, I told you to solve the system. So I'm going to do it. They gave me some room down there so I can do it. And remember, I call this one 1, I call this one 2, and I call this one 3. So I'm going to look at it and I'm going to decide what do I want to get rid of. Well, on 1 and 2, I have a minus z and a plus z. So if I just take 1 and add it to 2, I'll get negative 3x plus 2y minus z is equal to 8. I'll get 4x minus 3y plus z is equal to negative 14. If I do those, I'll get x minus y is equal to negative 6. And I called that equation 4. So now since I got rid of the z, I have to get rid of the z again. So I have two equations that have x and they have y. So if we look there, ladies and gentlemen, I can see again I have a plus and a minus here. So I think what I'll do is I will take 2 times equation 2 and add that to 3. All right? So I'm going to multiply everything. Remember, everything, every single element in 2, I'm going to multiply by 2. So I'll have 8x minus 6y plus 2z is equal to negative 28. Here I have 3x plus y, that's staying the same, minus 2z is equal to negative 14. And again, I told you I'm going to add those, so I'll get 11x minus 5y. Again, the z's are going to go away. I forgot to cross them out here for you too. And then that is going to equal negative 42. And that is my new equation 5. All right? So now, kind of look at those two there and decide what you want to get rid of. It's up to you, ladies and gentlemen. So what I see is I see a negative y here. I see a negative 5y here. So I went ahead and I said I'm going to take, negative 5 times 4, and I'm going to add that to 5. Okay. So if I do that, I'll get, again, I'm going to multiply everything from 4. So I'll get negative 5x. Negative 5 times a negative y is a plus 5y. And then I have negative 5 times negative 6 is 30. Okay. And then the other one stays the same. 11x minus 5y is equal to negative 42. And I should have changed colors, but that's okay. I'm starting to run out. I have 17% left. So I'm going to have 6x is equal to, those are going away, negative 12. And I'll get that x is equal to negative 2. So x will equal negative 2. So then again, after that, I'm going to take this negative 2, and again, I'm going to plug it into 4 or 5, because then I can solve for y. I went ahead and I chose 4. So remember, wherever I see x in 4, I'm replacing it with negative 2. So I have negative 2 minus y is equal to negative 6. I'll add 2 to both sides. I'll get negative y is equal to negative 4. Then think about it. I'm kind of dividing by a negative 1. Or if negative y equals negative 4, positive y equals positive 4. You can think of it that way also. And so that gives me 4 there. And then again, I'm going to choose either 1, 2, or 3 from above. And I chose 2 just because z is positive, and that's the one I have to solve for. So again, wherever I see x, I'm replacing it with -2. Wherever I see y, I'm replacing it with +4. So I'll have 4 minus 2 minus 3 times 4 plus z is equal to -14. So -8 minus 12 plus z is equal to -14. -20 plus z is equal to -14. I'm going to add 20 to both sides. I'll get that z is equal to 6. So remember what I told you, ladies and gentlemen. I told you that the test even, and I'll remind you again tomorrow, the test should also have whole numbers, okay? So there shouldn't be any fractions on this problem here for you. All right, number 13. Determine which system has no solution, which system has exactly one solution, which system has infinitely many solutions. So again, I kind of showed you right here on this one right here. Again, choose which one you want. Since I saw that x here had a number, I'm going to head and said, oh, hey, the next one has just 2 of them. So if I put 4 plus y is equal to 6, then that'll give me that y is equal to 2. All right. And then since I have that, again, on this one right here, I can say that 4 plus 2 plus z is equal to 6. So 6 plus z is equal to 6, and z is equal to 0. So on that one right there, I can tell I have exactly one solution. In fact, I told you if I was to write it as x, y, z, I'd have 4, I'd have 2, and I'd have 0. So that one, you would drag and drop it into exactly one solution. All right. And then choose whichever one else you want, ladies and gentlemen. So I noticed on this one right here, all of these have a coefficient of 1. All of these have a coefficient of 2. So if I multiplied the top one by -2, I'd have -2x minus 2y minus 2z is equal to -2. And if I added that to the second one, I would get everything going away on this side. I'd get those going away, so 0 equals 0. Remember, when I have 0 equals 0, that gives me infinitely many solutions. And I would go to this one right here. So I don't even have to do the last one because I already figured out those two. And I would put it right there. All right? Because that one we would find has no solution because we'd get like -3 equals 0. And something like that is not a true statement. Okay? Let's see, the table shows the distance y in miles that you are from a city after X minutes. What type of function do you have here? So remember on this one here, I kind of just told you I'm going to draw a quick little graph here for you. You could always plot it on your Desmos calculator. So I'm going 20, 40, 60, 80. And we had 45 here. The next y value I see is 22.5. And then I see 0. So again, if I'm looking at it, 20, 40, 60, 80, I see I have 0 and 45. I have 20 and 22.5. I have 40 and 0. I have 60 and 22.5. And I have 80 and 45. If I connect the dots, I see that it looks like a V, and we know that the V shape is an absolute value function. So that would be that one right there. And let's see, 15. And I believe that is our last one. So on this one right here, this one is, again, if they're giving me a table and I need to find out what it is, we know that pay less rentals is represented by 55x plus 60. And so we need to find a linear equation for this one here. Again, it doesn't matter which ones you use. I'm always going to use the ones closest to each other. And I know that, again, my slope is equal to y2 minus y1, so 265 minus 185. And my y is 4 minus 2. My x, sorry, x2 minus x1. And that will give us 80 divided by 2, which is equal to 40. Okay, and then we can go ahead and, why don't we go ahead and find the whole thing? So again, we know our equation is y is equal to mx plus b. I know that, and I'm going to, again, I'm lazy, I'll take the easiest one if I can. I know that y is equal to 185. My m is equal to 40. My x on that one there was 2. And I still have to find my b. So 185 is equal to 80 plus b. If I subtract the 80, I'll get that b is equal to 105. So my equation is y is equal to 40x plus 105. That's for discount, all right? So why don't I just put a D there for discount. We know that pay less rentals, theirs is y is equal to 55x plus 60. Again, that's pay less. So I'll just put a P by it. And remember, I told you, less per day means we're going to check the slope, not the initial one, but the slope. So if I look at the slopes here, again, which one is the lower one? Well, that would be discount. All right, so discount car rentals charges less per day. And then finally, they said the total costs equal the same. So remember, if y equals 40x plus 105 and y equals 55x plus 60, when the costs are the same, I can say that 55x plus 60 is equal to 40x plus 105. So again, if I subtract the 40, I bring it over to the left-hand side, I'll get 15x. If I subtract the 60 from the 105, I'll get 45. And then x would equal 45 divided by 15, or x is going to be 3. So the total cost is the same after 3 days. All right. Like I said, the test will be very similar to this, ladies and gentlemen. You can do it. I believe in you. Study for the test. Okay. And good luck tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow before class. At the start of class.